Hello friends, welcome back to another video. Will here, San Juan based flight attendant. Hope you guys are doing wonderful. We're heading over to the airport for a little adventure. We have Osvaldo over there listing on the flights. Last night we spent some time with my sister. Yesterday was Memorial Day, so we had a whole cookout and it was such a wonderful time. And then this morning we decided that we wanted to drive to Orlando, just go to the airport and try to get on this flight to Chicago. Later on I'll tell you exactly where we're trying to go. It's an international destination. Yesterday sounded like a great plan. The flight was completely open. However, there's a flight before the one we're trying to get on that got delayed. So now everybody that's on that flight is trying to get on the one that we're going. So it's now completely full. But we're trying to do the opposite. We're trying to get on the 11 a.m. flight that's now delayed until 1 because we're still going to have time to connect for the international flight. So we're listing on that now. Hopefully we're able to check in and then we'll cancel the other reservation. On this video, I just want to bring you on a travel day. I want to show you what it's like to fly on flight attendant benefits. It's nerve-wracking because as you can tell, we had a whole different plan last night and now we're looking at different flights, and we also looked at other airlines. So if we don't get on this flight to Chicago, we're gonna have to connect internationally, which is not ideal. You always want to connect, you know, domestically because you would pay less, but we're still only paying a fraction of what, you know, these flights would actually cost. So it's not bad, but if we can save a little more, nothing wrong with that. Super excited to bring you guys on an adventure. I know we haven't had this kind of adventure in a long time, so yes, here it is, guys. Let's get to the airport and get the flying day started, shall we? Can you guys believe that we went through TSA pre-check and Osvaldo forgot to take his water out, or like dump his water, drink his water? So they pulled his bag aside and immediately we knew what it was. And I was like, did you drink your water? And he's like, oh, I didn't. So anyway, we waited a long time to get an officer to get his bag, and then he brought the bag over and we told him it's water. So they had to escort him out because the other option was to throw away the Yeti bottle. I remember telling you guys that we were gonna list on the 11 a.m. one that's delayed until 1:39, and that we were going to cancel the 12:16, but we didn't cancel it. We still went to the gate and we almost got on, guys. So we sat there and they started calling people, but nobody would show up. So then a seat became available and they called a guy that was in a party of 2. And he was like, if it's not 2 seats, I'm not going. Then they called me for a party of 2 and I was like, same situation. But then all of a sudden the gate agent got a call and another seat became available. So the guy before me got on, but that's 2 standby less that are going on this next flight. So that's okay. What I didn't know was, because I never had this issue, luckily every time I've flown on United I've always gotten on, my thought process was, how are they going to roll me over to the next flight, which was before this one, even if it's delayed? So in my head I was like, it's not possible. So I listed twice on the 12:16 flight and the 11 a.m. that's now delayed until 1 something. So I went ahead and canceled the 12:16, so I will be getting the money back. Usually it takes like 2 to 3 business days to get your money back. That's why it's important. Booking on your credit card is the best way because you're not using your money, you're using your bank's money. So if something happens or it takes a long time, and you best believe that the bank is gonna do everything in their power to get their money back. We're supposed to get in at like 3 something p.m. and the international flight is not until 6:20 something, I believe. Everything is still looking good. If we, for whatever reason, do not make this next flight that seems to be wide open with like 17 people on standby, that's when we will have to connect internationally, and that becomes a little bit more expensive, but it's okay, you know, we're still on vacation. I'm gonna go ahead and drink my coffee and head over to the gate in the next few minutes and we'll see what happens. So let's go. Update, this was very quick. I think we got seats. We just got an alert. Even, I don't know why, like it's still exciting even though we knew that we were gonna get on. Also, by the way, while I'm here, this entire trip is Osvaldo's plan. Okay, we got 25 Bravo and 25 Alpha, boarding group 3. For the first time, guys, every time we fly standby, I always get a middle seat, always. This time, Osvaldo got a middle seat and he's gonna take that middle seat. We're gonna make our way over to the gate and board this flight to Chicago. Hello friends, welcome to the gate area. We're gonna start boarding at around 5:25. It is currently, it says over here, 3:43 local time. So we do have a little bit of time. I, at some point, do need to go get a bag so that I can throw the little goodies that I made for the flight attendants. My sister has like an arts and craft room with all sorts of things you can think of. And so when I was there, I was telling her about coming on an international trip today. And so she gave me some little baggies. And so I went ahead and did these for the flight attendants. These have emergency and hand sanitizer in them. Shout out to my sister for having all these things. The flight coming here was 2 hours and 23 minutes, I believe. Right now, I am working on some videos that I am editing because, you know, I want to use this time and be productive. But I am so excited to share with you guys in just a moment where we're going. I'm just gonna wait a little longer, so don't go anywhere. Quick update. We just got our seats assigned. We're still not boarding for another 19 minutes. So far, we're supposed to have the row to ourselves. So if that's the case, we're golden. I don't know how long this flight is, but I am so excited. Wait, did I tell you where we're going? I didn't say where we're going. 1, 2, 3. Amsterdam! Yay! I've never been to Amsterdam. Guys, I'm so excited that we got seats. Yes, yes, yes. We didn't get food here. We did eat earlier when we were in Orlando, and I already told you guys that. And then when we were here, I got some pretzels to snack on. Biggest hack, I see people spending $6, $7, $8 on a bottle of water at the airport. Bring your own bottle. There are fountains everywhere where you can just refill your water and you don't have to spend. And also too, we did try to look for a lounge, but they were on the other side of the airport, and I was like, you know what? I don't think we should go through all of that. We only have like an hour and some change. So let's just stay here, and that's what we did. Osvaldo was doing some work on his computer. I was trying to edit a little bit. I'm creating content too. And Osvaldo has a podcast. Yeah. What's up with you and the tongue out all the time? You're like, okay, goodbye. But yeah, anyway, he's just creating some reels and stuff for his podcast. And yeah, guys, that's what I have for you. As per usual, I'm sitting on the middle seat. That's always how it goes. We originally were supposed to have a window seat available, but I think somebody's going to be sitting there. So hopefully they just get changed to a different seat and we can just spread out and have more leg room. We officially made it to Amsterdam. We spent about 40 minutes here trying to find where to stay. That's one of the things when flying on flight attendant benefits. We never book accommodations because we don't know if we're going to make the flight or not. And so we don't want to deal with cancellations or try to ask for refunds or anything. So we successfully booked our hotel for the next 2 nights, although we will be here for longer. Right now we are walking over to the arrivals hall, make our way over to the hotel and see if we can get the room a little early, even though it's earlier than usual. But if not, we'll probably try to leave our luggage there and then find a cafe, not a coffee shop. There's a difference between the two, and if you've been to Amsterdam before and you know what I'm talking about, drop it in the comments. I'll explain later. Flight time here was 7 hours and 20 something minutes. I made a mistake. They offered us exit row when we were in Chicago, but I was like, no, it's fine, because I was thinking about the bulkhead. But it was a bit more extra legroom, so we should have done in. The reason why I didn't want to do it is because originally they told us that we were going to have the entire row to ourselves. Made it to the hotel, and we knew that we were early, and so we still asked to see if we could get our room. So they were like, no, you can leave your luggage. I'm glad that, you know, we made it here. Everything was super easy. And yeah, also guys, I got my very first passport stamp on my new passport. Let me not try to like flash my passport around here, but I was so excited when I saw it. This is the new passport I got back in December. But yeah guys, my camera battery is about to die. I'll give you some more updates later. We haven't had success at getting our room earlier, so I decided, because Osvaldo was taking a nap, I decided that I'm gonna go ahead and head over to a grocery store and get some water and some snacks, and on the way back I'll stop at a coffee house and get some coffee while we continue waiting. We still have about 2.5 hours left. This place that I found is about maybe 13 minutes walking distance from the hotel, and I can tell you right now, people really like biking here in Amsterdam. Let's go to this grocery store and then we'll get some coffee. We got a room. I went back to front desk tonight as a lady and I was like, listen, how much more do I have to pay to get a room, you know, before 3 p.m? And she was like, you can check in as early as now, which is 1 p.m, and you have to pay 10 euros. And I was like, 10 euros? I'll give you 20, but we'll settle for 10, okay? And so we just got here to a room. We have a nice little view. The room is not super big, but it's comfortable for the next 2 nights. It's a double bed. And you know, it has the functional things. So it has a mini fridge over here, TV, has tons of storage. We have a coffee maker, but I did notice that the water tank is really dirty, so I do not anticipate using this. This is the room that we have for the next 2 nights. If you enjoyed traveling with us to Amsterdam, go ahead and smash that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and I'm going to see you next week for some Amsterdam adventures. Take care.